Hello everyone. In this opening bit, I wanted to introduce myself before I actually got into the article. How do you introduce yourself when you're not even sure what you want to do with this channel yet? I guess I'll try my best. I'm a 18-year-old left-leaning libertarian from Eastern Canada with an interest in Canadian, US, and UK politics. Originally born in the UK, I have an interest in ancient history, economics, politics, aliens, even though that doesn't make any sense. I want to believe so. How could this happen to me? Now, after my goofy attempt at a shitty intro, I actually did want to say I do have an interest in the whole like extraterrestrial conspiracy stuff. And to be honest, calling it a conspiracy it goes a little far for me. Just science hasn't disproved it yet, so you never know. They could be out there somewhere. I hope they are. That'd be so fucking cool, wouldn't it? Just think about it. Put all of this logic and science behind you. Just think about it for a sec. How cool would it be that aliens were actually out there? Just think. God, it drives you nuts laying in bed at night thinking about, wow, how much further ahead would they be? What would they look like? How much more different, would their society be different to ours? Or would they be like us? Would they be the little green men or little gray men? Oh, all of that stuff. I think all of that's fascinating. I don't subscribe to it on a level where I'm like, oh my god, I've been visited by aliens. But I mean, you can subscribe to it on a level where you binge watch the X-Files and yell, I want to believe at your friends whenever somebody brings up aliens. Anyway, on to the actual article. So this article is about a buyback program being talked about in my local council right now. It's called Guns for Bus Tickets, Halifax Regional Council to debate firearm buyback program. The 2-week-long program would allow people to trade any firearms or ammunition to the municipality in exchange for Halifax transit tickets. Okay, sounds awesome, right? Let's read on. Halifax Regional Councillor will consider a new gun buyback program at its meeting on Tuesday. But one councillor isn't sure the program provides enough incentive. The Gun Amnesty Program, recommended in a staff report headed to council for debate, would allow people to trade any firearms or ammunition to the municipality. This is the good part. In exchange, forget this, 50 bus tickets. Whoa. Shit, that's a lot of bus tickets, right? No, it's not. When I went downtown to meet up with a couple of friends and go out partying, it cost me 6 bus tickets from the minute I left my house at 3 o'clock until the minute I got home at 1:30 in the morning. It was an expensive journey for me. It was a little over $12. To get on the bus, it's $2.50 in this city. But what I'm trying to get across, 50 bus tickets is pretty much nothing, especially when it's a program aimed at decreasing violent crime. You can't decrease violent crime by buying back guns, and they understand this, which I'll give them. I'll give my city council. That's good. That's good that they understand. Because my support of knowing that the city council knows this is Councillor Steve Craig says that if I don't think the bus tickets are an incentive one way or another, to be honest. Those people who have criminal intent or want to either deal in firearms or want to use firearms, I think a bus ticket's not going to mean anything to them. You get 4 claps from me. That's all. Steve, you're right. You are so damn right in this. But what you say next makes me doubt whether or not you know what you're talking about. Craig also said that if one person does find the tickets to be enough incentive, then it would be worth it. And it's a good way to raise awareness. Okay. All right. Now, here's the issue. If we are going to spend money on giving people bus tickets to buy back guns, and it's not going to work on decreasing violent crime, then why are we doing it? If that is your goal, to help police get a handle over the shit situation that's been going on in Halifax for the last about month, then you need to look at this a different way. Buyback programs for firearms do not work, in my opinion, because the incentive has to be so high for people to want to bring in their firearms that in a lot of ways you would find yourself with people bringing in illegally bought firearms just to make money off of giving them back to the police. Because, let's face it, no gun owner is really going to consider giving up one of their guns for the equivalent of about $100 worth of bus tickets. That's never going to work. People may consider giving their guns up if you give them $1,000 per gun. The problem with that is then people will go out and steal guns, and this is a quite hypothetical situation, but you can see where I'm going with this. People would be able to go out and get guns, either illegally through stealing them or through buying them black market for cheaper, and then take them into this amnesty program. And as long as the gun was never implicated with any violent crime, robbery, or any crime, really, they'd give you $1,000. That sounds like it might work, right? Right?
You want to have discussion, right? Discussion. We want to talk about issues, not talk about this bull.
Farther down in the article, it says back in 2009, there was a similar program called Pixels for Pistols, in which people who brought in guns received a camera to take selfies instead of defending their family against any possible threats that would come across them. Oh, sorry, I misread that. I think it says, oh yeah, they just got the camera. They didn't give a shit about defending their family. Right. Okay. Let me tell you something, guys. When I brought up to a group of people that I was turning 19, and once I turned 19, I'd be looking to get my firearms license and to purchase a gun, they all laughed at me. First of all, that's the first thing you'll get when you say you want to buy a gun in Canada. They'll laugh at you. They'll laugh their ass off at you. And if they don't laugh at you, they'll call you crazy because they think you're going to become one of those school shooters who, takes an SKS and has a hard life and fucking shoots up a primary school, right? Guns have been so demonized in this country that we are more scared of actual guns than we are the people using them. We are more scared that somebody is going to come up behind us and shoot us randomly in the street than we are to actually figure out what the deep-rooted problem is. That's what sucks, because when I showed them which gun I wanted to buy, which it was an SKS. I don't stand behind, I'm not like, oh, I'm dead set on getting this SKS, and I just dropped my, oh my god. Excuse me a moment. So as you can see in the picture that I just brought up on your screen, I had a little accident when I turned around to face my screen again. I like to spin around when I talk on these sorts of topics. They help me spinning helps me think, that's what I'll say. But I ended up knocking my completely and entirely full ashtray off of my desk onto my floor. Anyway, back to the actual topic. When I showed these leftists, because they were very, very far left. They're all about the state owning everything. They're communists, disgusting, dirty communists. And when I showed them what it looked like, none of them know anything about guns, mind you. They're all the same as most of the Canadian populace and their knowledge about firearms. They know that guns go bang and people die when that bang happens, but they don't know actually what happens when that gun goes bang. And when I showed them what an SKS looked like, they actually all agreed that it looked pretty safe. And I said, well, how big do you think of a bullet it fires? And they're like, probably not big. And I was like, oh, what, like this? The 7.62 by 3.9 millimeter round. It's a Russian standard round that's used in both the SKS and the AKs. And now I will end up saying a mistake towards the end of this video where I miscategorized the M14 DMR as using 7.62 by 3.9, the same as the SKS, when in reality it uses the NATO standard 7.62 by 5.1 millimeter. Sorry about that mistake. The 5.56 by 4.5 NATO standard round, which, if you don't know, is fired out of the M16A4 and the M4 carbine, two of the current weapons used by the US Armed Forces. And when I held the M16 up with nothing on it, it wasn't all, drum mags and ACOGs and nuclear missile launchers and FMJ Dragon Breath soft point slap tail boat fucker rounds. When I held that up beside a DMR with a LRPS scope, which is a long range precision scope, pretty standard scope for DMRs, they believed that the DMR was still the hunting gun just because it was made of wood. They thought the 5.56 was more dangerous because of the package that it came in. At this point in our history, we need gun education in Canada. I'm not saying to bring a firearms curriculum to every middle school in the entire country. What I'm saying is have firearms informational sessions. Have police run training sessions where you can be taught how to clean and unload a firearm and make sure that your firearms are stored both safely and securely. In my honest opinion, that's what this country and this city needs. We don't need to be scared of the things that have kept us safe for so long now, the things that have won us the wars against the world's greatest evils. We shouldn't be terrified of something that can be used in such advantageous and fascinating ways, something that can be a hobby for people, something that people love. I don't think we should be scared of it. I think it's wrong that we're scared of it. I believe with everything in my being that we could really, really, really use a couple of sensible heads in our government saying, hey, you guys know assault rifle is not just a term you can use for every gun that's ever shot, right? You know you can't just call everything that's high caliber and potentially dangerous a fully automatic assault rifle. But that's just my opinion. I'd like to thank you for watching today. If you like what I do, please support the channel by liking and subscribing. If you'd like to see any content in the future on a specific topic, if you could let me know, that'd be amazing. I have a Twitter, you can follow me there. All links will be in the description. For now, I'm just going to keep it to Twitter and YouTube. I have no intention of starting another Facebook. I hate Facebook as is. It's a disgusting, cancerous shithole that I frankly wish had never started existing. But I hope you all have a great day today. It's been a good one for me. Thanks a lot for watching.